What happens is, in the name of devotion, we get devoted to mind stuff. We get devoted to something of our own desire. And that is problematic. Devotion is wonderful. Bhakti is the highest possible. Ramana Maharshi used to famously say that Bhakti is the very mother of all realization. Such a profound and beautiful statement. There is nothing higher than devotion at all. The problem is not with devotion. The problem is not with bhakti. The problem is with the nonsense that is practiced in the name of bhakti. Most of these youngsters, in the name of devotion, they are practicing nonsense. Now, devotion is profound and beautiful, but nonsense is not. Bhakti is wonderful, but that which you are doing is not bhakti. It is something else. Devotion is when, first of all, you decide that I will not respect mind stuff, correct? If you are respecting mind stuff, that is desire, not devotion. If you say, I am devoted to something, and that something that you are devoted to is arising from within the mind, then is that devotion or is that desire?
Desire.
Desire. So that is what is happening in the name of bhakti. In most of the places where devotion is practiced, what they are actually practicing is desire. In most places where they say that we are worshipping somebody in a devoted way, what they are actually worshipping is the ego. So in the name of worshipping the Lord, they are actually worshipping their own ego. And that is the problem. Otherwise, devotion, I say, is the highest possible. I repeat, devotion is higher than knowledge. Bhakti is actually higher than Gyan. In my own way, I express that by saying that Bhakti and Gyan are inseparable. Because ultimately the disease is one. The disease is the lack of fulfillment that the mind experiences. And if your disease is your lack of fulfillment, your devotion has to be towards fulfillment. That is what is bhakti, that is also what is Gyan. So the way I put it is that bhakti and Gyan are inseparable. They are just one. Bhakti is love. What is it that you love? One loves freedom. One loves understanding. So Gyan is understanding. Bhakti is love towards understanding. How are these two different? And if you do not love understanding, you will not get understanding. Therefore, Ramana Maharshi used to say that Bhakti is the mother of Gyan. Bhakti means you must love freedom or realization or understanding. Love comes first, right? If you do not love something, how will you get it? If you do not love to be liberated, you will never be liberated. Therefore, love comes first. But you have to love liberation, not mind stuff. That is the problem. Are you getting it? Please. There has to be love, there has to be devotion, there has to be bhakti. But sir, what is it that you are loving? Please open your eyes and honestly investigate. I am asking all the devotees, what are you really devoted to? What will you get by being devoted to your own ego and your own images? How will that help you? It's like loving one's own shadow. That's you. Somebody is worshipping his own face in a mirror. What will you get from this kind of a worship? That thing is your own reflection. That thing is just your own projection, your own creation. Being devoted to that will fetch you nothing. In fact, being devoted to that is highly irreligious. It is very, very anti-spiritual. Because spirituality is all about transcending the ego. Instead of transcending the ego, if you start worshipping the ego, are you spiritual or religious? No. So that's the problem. In the name of bhakti, people are practicing desire as devotion. How to be cautious of that? Whenever you find yourself loving something, ask yourself, is it mind stuff? If it is mind stuff, it is not worthy of devotion. Attraction towards mind stuff is called desire. That's the definition. Kindly remember this definition. Attraction towards mind stuff is called desire, not devotion. Devotion is when you love liberation. That is called devotion. Devotion is when you are attracted towards something beyond the mind. That is devotion. When you are attracted towards something within the mind, that is desire. Will you remember the distinction? When you are attracted to something within the mind, that is desire. When you are attracted to something beyond the mind, that is devotion. Now, most people who practice devotion are actually just allowing themselves to be attracted to something within the mind. And that will not help. That will not help. And again, there the problem is, in the name of practicing devotion, they are just following rituals, which they call as practices. Even bhakti has to be studied. You have to go to a Saint Kabir. You have to go to Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, Narad Bhakti Sutras. And people have not read them. People have not read. If you go to Saint Kabir, or if you go to Guru Nanak Dev, they are all worshippers. They are all saints of Nirguni Bhakti. But the so-called devotees never go to them. They think that just, blindly following some rituals would turn them into devotees. That is not devotion. And if you object to them, they say that you are objecting to devotion. What you do not understand is that devotion is beautiful. Bhakti is supreme. But in the name of bhakti, if you do nonsense, that cannot be accepted for your own good, because that which you are doing in the name of bhakti, I am saying to those youngsters your question referred to, in the name of bhakti, if you are doing all kinds of miscellaneous things, that will not help you, and you deserve to be helped. Every single creature on this earth deserves to be helped. We are all potentially very beautiful. We all deserve to be liberated. But not if we choose blind paths. I repeat, fall in love. Commit yourself fully to something, but be very cautious that that which you are committing yourself to is not just a creation of your own fertile mind. And when I say your own mind, I mean man's mind, a human being's mind. If something is arising from the imagination of a human being, it is just mind stuff. And mind stuff can be good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, but mind stuff can never be divine. Mind stuff can be good, bad, useful, useless. All those categories are okay. But mind stuff can never be worthy of your worship. Worship is sacred. And the sacred is that which is beyond your mind. Whatsoever is within this little vessel, how can it be worthy of worship? It is so small. This vessel is so small. How can this be worthy of worship? Instead, you are worshipping something from within this vessel. It will not help. Yes? So love is wonderful and love is the highest. Bhakti is topmost. But be cautious. In the name of bhakti, do not be fooled. Learn from the real sages. Go to the saint poets. See what they have said in their devotion about devotion. And then you will know the real nature of bhakti.